Here we go. Coming in. You know what that means. It's 9 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, and welcome to What's the Story with Maria. How you guys doing? My name is Maria. I'm the host of your show, and we just want to welcome everybody. We're here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Ed Kutu is our first in. It's like a contest. Ed Kutu, you're the first one in. He's from Blade Salon in in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. He's moved. So welcome, Eddie. We want to welcome all of you folks. People will start joining us now. Suzanne Mason has joined us. Rena Crignelli-Bergi, she's my cousin in Massachusetts. Chip McGoldrich the third, he's in Miami. Hi, Chip. How are you, honey? And tonight I have two special guests right now. We're going to start with Brian first, and I'll introduce him in a minute. I just want to welcome our people. And Billy Young has joined us. Hi, Billy Young. I want to welcome everybody and tell you that this is a very special episode because if you live in New York, you know what's happening this month. If you don't live in New York, you're not always in on what's happening. So what is always the big thing in June in New York? It's Pride Month. So it's a big deal for gay people and people that love gay people and LGBT across the board. It's a big month for us, and the last Sunday in June is when we have our huge Pride Parade. But this year, it's Sig De Miguel has joined us. Hi, Sig. Jeannie Craigie has joined us from Massachusetts. But this month is especially special because it's World Pride. And World Pride is happening in NYC. Why is it happening in NYC? Because it's the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, which is a huge deal. And we'll talk more about that down the line. But we also want to welcome our friend and accidental intern, Leo Reyes. Thank you, Leo. Brian, I don't know if you saw the promo, but Leo made a promo of you and Dominic in the show. It's on your face. Oh, I don't know if it's on, but you're tagged anyway. I'll show it to you, and then we can share it.
I did see it. Yeah,
yep.
It's great.
Leo does all that great stuff. Andrew Holmes, yes, he does a great job.
Tree.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 50-year Stonewall. Yes, let's do this. Dominic Pupa has joined us. He is in our studio audience. He is in the green room right now, and he will be joining us shortly. Delaney Rankin Trotman. Hi, how are you, Delaney? Mario Cantone has joined us. Our friend Mario. We went to high school together.
No way.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
I love Mario.
And he's from Massachusetts too.
He's a mass ass?
He is.
Oh my God.
That's what we say, or we say massholes, right?
Oh my God.
But anyway, Mario is he was on our show. We had so much fun. Yeah, so we're gonna go straight into it. I like to usually just get the everything going and people join us, and then they don't miss much of our guests. So tonight, I asked Brian to be on the show. I met Brian, I guess it was over 20 years ago, right, Brian? It had to be.
At least.
And I remember I went to see Brian's show. I had just met him. I maybe knew him a year, and he had this play that he wrote, and I really wanted to see it. And I went, and it blew my mind. And I didn't realize it was 20 years because we were just talking about it beforehand.
Yeah, 2000.
So you want to talk a little bit about that show? I know you have a lot of new things happening, but the name of the show is called Boys Don't Wear Lipstick.
Right.
And it's just the way I looked at things. It really changed the way I looked at a lot of things.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was touching and beautiful and scary.
Yeah.
Scary. I was afraid for you in that show and what you went through. I
was afraid for me too.
Yeah, it was very brave. So you said you may have a reading of that at some point, another anniversary, maybe?
I think so. It'll be 20 years in 2020. It'll be the 20th anniversary. And,
wow.
and we were talking earlier, and I said that I did the 15th anniversary reading of it at Dixon Place, and it was sold out, and I was not in it. I directed it, and I cast all gender non-conforming, transgender actors in the different roles.
Wow.
And it was really powerful. It was incredible. And, we're talking about 2000, and that was a whole different climate back then for anything to do with transgender or gender identity or, any gender.
And that's just 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's only 20 years ago.
But going back to when we were younger, we talked about, we grew up in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Fall River. So first thing I said is, are you Portuguese? He was like, yeah. I mean, that's, if you're from Fall River, you're probably Portuguese. So Anyway, that show was my first introduction to you as a writer, even though I knew you as a friend, someone that we ran in similar circles. And I remember seeing that and thinking, oh my God, that's incredible. So now you've come out with a book. May I show the book?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Please.
So this is Brian's book, and it's doing extremely well. I'm going to hold it up first so they can see. I don't want to block your face.
You can block my face.
That's all right. So this is the cover of the book. That's Brian. It's called Transfigured by Brian Belovich, and it is doing extremely well. I got it at Barnes & Noble. I couldn't wait. Brian said, I'm going to bring you a book. I couldn't wait. And so he's going to sign it for me tonight. I'm very excited about that.
To read a couple of blurbs on top.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read it. Transfigured is a thrilling read, one of the most mercilessly candid and outspoken memoirs in years. If Holly Golightly existed, this might have been her true story. I couldn't put it down. Scott Whitman, Tony and Grammy award-winning lyricist of Hairspray.
Mary Poppins.
Yep. And I wrote another thing. It was in the beginning of it. It says, it's a life lived on the edge with an incredible cast of characters during a dangerous and chaotic era. That pretty much describes it.
Yeah, pretty much. And the subtitle is My Journey from Boy to Girl to Woman to Man, which is hard to read there on the screen. But, you know, I lived, you know, pretty much half my adult life as a transgender woman in the 70s and 80s.
In the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone back then that was doing that.
Well, there were a lot of us. We were a little bit undercover, a little more underground. It was sort of like a subculture.
You probably, I was going to say.
Very tight-knit group of people that stayed together, knew each other, hung out with each other,
and that was before the
backs,
right. That was before the internet. That was
before the internet.
Right. So how did you find each other?
Through the bars, you know, the bars and Christopher Street and the Village, and you know, different clubs. That, you know, one of the clubs I write a lot about in the book is the Gilded Grape, which was on 45th Street and 8th Avenue, and that was like transgender central, because everyone that was trans or any sort of version of gender non-conforming met there, and there was a whole community of trans women and gay men, lesbians, transvestites. I mean, it was, you know, every possible spectrum of gender, but mostly it was predominantly like a trans bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was the Gilded Grape.
Yeah, 8th Avenue and 45th Street by the Camelot apartment building.
I lived there. I lived at the Camelot.
Really?
It was one of my favorite apartments. In 1993.
Oh, it was cleaned up by then.
Yeah, I'm sure that, well, it was just becoming Disneyfied.
Yeah.
As I call it.
Yeah.
Michael Mackesy, who is a musical director in the city and all across the country, he was looking for a roommate, and our friend Nancy Timpanero said, oh, Michael's looking for a roommate. He travels like 8 months out of the year, and I was looking for a place to live, and I moved in, and Michael was never home because he was traveling, and this apartment was just magical to me. It was on the 12th floor. It was 12G. I remember that. It was such a great apartment, and you could see Times Square, and it was just starting to turn. It was just starting to become like cleaned up, and that grit was starting to go. But you know, which is kind of sad.
Coming back.
There's two sides to it. Yeah. Okay, Jesse Luttrell has joined us. I want to scroll back because people have been putting things. It's okay. The Amazon link. Who did that? Chip, thank you.
Oh,
the Amazon link to Brian's book.
Thank you, Chip.
Thank you so much. It's an amazing book. Now, let me just, because a lot of people have joined us. That's my cousin Marisa Raskowski. She's in Massachusetts.
Hi, Marisa.
She's so sweet. Michael, it's hard for me. Pierkowski, Michael Klein, Hector Garcia. He's in Miami. Hi, everybody. People are posting wonderful things. Jim Russell.
Oh, my husband.
Yes, he's cute.
Hi, honey.
He friended me on Facebook. I hope it's okay.
Yeah.
Very, very handsome. So, anyway, going back to, so also I was flipping through it, and there's a lot of Studio 54 stuff in there as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the prime era of that, right?
Yeah, it was the height of the whole disco era when I came to New York.
I love that era.
I mean, I came here when I was 18. I landed on Christopher Street.
Wow.
From Little Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And boy, it was quite an eyeful.
Yeah, and it was a different.
And it was a very different time.
Before the show, we were talking, the three of us, about how different the Village is now. It's kind of, I always talk about this. We're so mainstream now in so many ways that it's just like everything's blended into everything. And like you were talking about in those clubs where you clustered together, it was a safe place to be. I guess it's getting better because we're everywhere now. Well, in New York anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think? How do you feel about that?
I think that's probably true. But, we're not to take a political turn here, but, we have to be mindful that, it's quite possible that we could go backwards.
That is definitely
looming.
We
can't get too comfortable in our acceptability. Our sort of our allies.
Right.
That accept us. I mean, there are still people that want to hurt us. And,
absolutely. And
I was walking down the street. I think I was coming out of the subway yesterday, and this guy, he just looked at me like he was going to kill me. I mean, I just happened to look up, and this guy, he just really scowling, angry face, and he looked at me, and I thought, I recognize that look.
Wow. And I bet
I'm a senior citizen. I mean, it's like scary.
But I bet you've seen that look at different points in your life, right?
Many times.
So you've been, I won't say you've been a lot of different people. You are who you are. But you've had a lot of different lives, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And
actress, model, army wife.
That blew my mind.
Living off the military base in Germany,
as a woman.
Yeah. Or as presenting as a woman, living as a woman. You have to be. And I was on the down low, and people really didn't know. I mean, look at me now. You'd never, look a bearded lady now, but you would never.
I think you're adorable.
Thank you so much.
I mean,
I think you're adorable.
Thank you.
I think you're more adorable.
I don't know. It's a different category of adorable. But every time I see you, I'm so happy. You have your energy is so bright, Brian, and so beautiful. I gotta say though, when I flip at some of these pictures and I see Trish, she had a little side to her that was a little different than you. And I don't mean the gender thing. I mean maybe because she had to right. Yeah. And she didn't seem as approachable. You're like I just want to hug you. She was like she had her distance.
Well,
she had to, right?
When I lived as a trans woman, it was a survival mechanism.
Right.
You never know who was gonna come for you. So
right, and I didn't.
You never knew how. It's very easy. You wanted to be open and vulnerable and friendly, but living as a trans woman during that time period was extremely stressful.
I can imagine.
And sort of like walking on eggshells all the time because you never knew, like the fellow that was when I was coming out of the subway, you never knew if something was going to come at you. I mean, even at my most, I was watching a video today on YouTube that a friend sent me a link of from the club days, and there I am all dressed up, beautiful, dress and just gorgeous, and this woman was sort of not attacking me, but like sort of coming for me because of my breasts. Mm. She was trying to argue with me that because that my breasts were fake, and that it's like that kind of stuff. And it really triggered me to remember like a whole flood of those kind of memories came back to me today about just how awful people treated trans people back then.
Well, you know what?
Not that they are any better now.
You know what just came to me as you were saying this? This is what I thought. Right. You have been a container for the same soul all these years.
Yeah.
Your soul and Yeah, and you're a container for everything. Your outsides may have changed a few different times, but
at least
what you're containing is that same soul.
Yeah.
And that soul has been frightened many times, and that soul has been sassy, and that soul has been very daring and courageous. But it's the same soul. Your container has changed shapes a few times.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and I think that's true of everybody, no matter what you're presenting. You know, what phase or what, you know, gender or what, you know, what role you're taking on. You know,
different people wear different hats in life.
Yeah. I think your soul is pretty much the same.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful part of it, which also puts you in a vulnerable place sometimes.
Yeah.
Now, I want you have many events coming up. So let's plug these events, okay, before we forget.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember them?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they can go to your website or something.
Yeah, my website.
Yeah, tell us your website so we can.
BrianBelovich.com. Also, I'm at Twitter at BBLove on Twitter and
at BBLove.
At BBELOV, and also I'm on Instagram, Transfigured Book. Hashtag Transfigured Book on Instagram, and that's where I post everything that I'm doing. But I'm going to be at the with the Generations Project, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I'm not.
Great storytelling project that has elder, gay, lesbian, trans, all different variations of identity, tell their stories to the younger generation. So it's like the older generation keeping our history alive and keeping the truth and the narrative of our struggles, our triumphs, our failures, and so it's really a great project.
I want to let you know that Leo Rodriguez, my friend, has posted BrianBelovich.com.
Oh, thank you, Leo.
Yes, thank you so much, Leo. He's a sweetheart, and thank you, Chip, for posting, getting the book. Now, so
and then I'm going to be in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, on the 22nd. I'm doing a book. Their first gay pride event in Doylestown.
Their first great
pride. Doylestown Books, and then I'm going to be in P-Town in July.
My favorite place on earth.
East End Books in Provincetown on July 13th, and then the big exciting news, which I get to announce,
please.
I haven't told anybody yet, is that I'm going to be with Barnes and Noble on their float in the 50th Stonewall celebration. They've collected 50 of what they say is the most influential LGBTQ authors.
Wow, that's incredible.
We're going to be.
That's amazing.
So, that's a real full circle moment for me.
Wow.
To be included in that group.
Because it's amazing.
Really awesome.
I'm really. That's amazing. Yeah. And I'm so glad now that I got the book at Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, and that'll be and I guess there's 400
It's going to be, it's World Pride.
Yeah,
so the whole world is coming here. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people are coming here. So we're going to go back and forth, but I want to bring on our other guest.
Yes.
Which is I said he is a bundle of pride for me. He's my friend, and he is, you guys know him. He's been on the show before, and he's been one of our regulars, comes on every week. So another big round of applause for Brian Belovich, everybody. Thank you, Brian Belovich. And we are going to go back and forth. We're bringing on our friend Dominic Pupa. Oh my God. Comedian, a producer, Cher aficionado. I didn't tell you that. I was saving it. Cher aficionado. Now, Dominic, happy World Pride Month.
Back at you.
Oh my God, this is so exciting. And I wanted to tell everybody, Dominic, we couldn't let this opportunity go by. Dominic has a series of shows coming up, and I want you to tell everybody, Dominic, what's happening.
Maria, they'll be at the Duplex, which, by the way, on a night that Maria works there, which is
Monday and Thursday. I'm there, and it's going to be Thursday.
My good luck charm, so that's why.
Except this Thursday, I'm going to Boston.
So
I won't be
the
there.
show will suck this Thursday.
No,
3, it will be great.
No, I'm sorry I can't be there, but I will be there next Thursday. I am going to Beantown. Now, let me hold this up while you. Yes, thank you, Brian.
We worked very hard on this.
Wow.
It's called Twirled History.
Let's hold it close to it while you're talking about it. Thank you.
The show's called Twirled History. It is comedy.
Yeah.
And it is It's just, you know, I normally do stand-up. I do song parodies. I've never done a show during Pride before, and I always wanted to.
Love the poster.
Yeah, I never have. And I just wanted to do...
You do a Christmas show every year. I know that's famous. Show every year.
And then, you know, I perform throughout the year, but I've never done anything specifically for Pride. And I wanted to this year.
And how long is the show?
It's an hour. Like
okay.
Normal to one.
Any songs? Or
there will be some music.
There will be some music. Okay.
I'm not going to pretend I'm done writing. No, because I still have 48 hours to screw it out.
Right.
Yeah, but there's definitely going to be music. It's mostly comedy. I'll be wearing several caftans throughout the show.
You can rock is it a caftan?
I need a caftan.
I think I'm like 5.
I think I need a caftan.
You don't have a caftan?
I didn't bring any with me, which is a little unusual.
Yeah, you usually, if you follow him on Facebook, he's always
I think I need a caftan for the parade. Definitely.
You definitely should.
Something loose and flowing.
Right, that the wind can just blow through.
It's going to be a hot day. It's always so hot. I always feel like everyone in the parade is sweating.
Oh my God, it's the hottest day ever. But it's so exciting.
I can't tell you how many of those I've been in.
I got to tell you, I've worked a lot of those. Mostly I end up working, but I've ridden in the parade with the motorcycles. That is the most exciting thing. I did, I think, 3 or 4 years.
What's the name of that group?
Dykes on Bikes.
Yes! I didn't know we could say that.
But yeah, I guess we can. But
Dykes.
also, it's not just women anymore. Now it's men too. It used to be just the women. They would ride. They would ride in, and
men
it was
and women.
Now men have joined. Anybody?
The elusive male.
Yes, now it's just
dyke.
People on motorcycles. Yeah, but it's exciting. So I've done that 3 years. Wow. I was on the Stonewall float 2 different years, and I've actually marched with Clean and Sober a few times, which is usually at the end of the parade. Yeah. So it's amazing. It's amazing to be part of it because the whole time, not the whole time, but most of the time, people are cheering for you. But the closer you get to the village, the louder the cheering gets. Uptown is a little bit of, and then there's always people with crazy signs that want to kill you. But
well, outside Stonewall in the duplex is where, I mean, if you want a good spot there on June 30th, you have to put a lawn chair there now.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I stopped
a tent
or something. I used to go to the duplex. I mean, when I came out, I always went to the duplex and Stonewall for Pride.
Yeah.
And then I stopped.
Well,
when I turned 40,
to be.
I love the march every year. I love watching it. I can't go to the corner of Christopher and 7th on that day. I'm too short.
It's too crazy.
I'm too short. I can't see.
But you can see, you have better views uptown. You really do. Yeah. You can get and it's so amazing, and it's
the
streets are wide,
didn't it?
Yeah.
The route is different now.
The route is different now, and I wish I knew.
Lower.
So now it's going from. It's going from 23rd. And it's going down. It's going to go down either 5th or 6th, and then it's going to go across Christopher, and it's going to go up north 7th. On 7th now.
Right, where it used to come down from 51st,
like
down 5th,
and then you used to go to the pier.
Right.
Remember, it used to go all the way to Christopher Pier, and then last year they were testing out the new route, and they went south on 7th, and then made a left on Christopher, but they changed that this year. I don't know why.
So I guess if you go to like heritageofpride.com, I'm sure you can get the route, but there'll be great places to stand, and it doesn't have to be down in the village. I mean, I've watched it from 42nd Street. I've watched it from all the way uptown. I like it uptown because it's really, you can always find a spot, and you see everything starting, and people are fresh as daisies at that point.
Yeah.
But when it gets closer to Christopher Street, the energy and the people are screaming at the top of their lungs for you. And you feel so special and incredible. And I'll tell you, when on the bikes, it was the best. Our friend Billy Goffey and I rode 1 year. So that was really fun. Let's see. Let's check on our people. Jim, what is Jim saying? Wow, interesting angle. I think he was talking about something from way back.
The angle of the light?
I don't know. I think what we were talking about, maybe the
Kelly Moore.
Matt Fabiano has joined us. Hi, Matt. Kelly Moore is your friend and my friend. She's so sweet. Leo, what else has Leo put there? Domentary.com, which is your website.
Oh, Leo, thank you so much.
I know he's the best. Leo is incredible. By the way, Leo has written a show. Leo is also writes shows and musicals and things like that. And his show, I won't say the name of it, but it's in the works, and I will be directing that. So I think it's going to be in December. So that's going to be, Leo's
Where's it gonna be?
I believe
You know
at the Duplex. Yeah, I think we're going to do it there.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, a little club downtown. Margaret Curry has joined us. Let me see. Corey Crane. Hi, Corey Crane. How are you, honey? Mandar, Chick Magnet has joined us. There he is. Mandar, how are you, honey? We missed you. I hope you can make our party. Next Tuesday is our 100th episode.
Wow.
I know, it's a big deal, right?
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you so much. And I am calling it our regulars and irregulars, a tribute to our regulars and irregulars. So I've invited all the people that come on every week. Every week, there they are.
You're going to put 100 people in this room?
So I don't know if it's going to be 100
I asked the same question.
Yeah.
It's going to be 100.
But it might be. Then we'll just cook. I'll cook for 100. I'll cook for 100. So, oh my God. So Leo just put Chick Magnet because I always say Mandar, Chick Magnet. Mandar, that's very funny. Oh, speaking of gay, Joe Gullah has joined us. Joe Gullah, gay playwright. Hi, Joe. I invited Joe to the party next week, but he's going to be in Alaska or some crazy. Is that where you're going to be? His play is being produced in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
You guys you should look Joe Gullah up. Joe, look Brian Belovich up too. Very interesting people and both writers, and you know Dominic. So yes, next week, Mandar. I hope, please, Mandar, please. As a matter of fact, Mandar, I'm going to try to lure you in with this because you're great with my recipes. Tell me something that you really want me to make, and I'll make it special for you, Mandar. Okay. I'm also getting a cake made by Shannon O'Connell. She's out in Bayonne. She's my friend Tara's sister. Tara works with me at the Duplex, and she's the best cake maker. She's just incredible. So she's making a special cake for What's the Story with Maria. So we're going to have that. It's going to be a chocolate cake with vanilla, buttercream. I think it's going to be delicious.
Nice.
Nancy Bizzotti's
That was not what I was expecting.
No.
When you were like, Mandar, I'm going to lure you in with this, I thought you were going to take your top off.
No.
He's a chick magnet.
He is
maybe you'd be drawn
Let me tell
to
you, Mandar,
really
chicks are drawn to Mandar. Chicks are, if you go to Mandar's page,
Let's go now.
We could, after the show, we'll go. Every picture of Mandar, he is flanked by gorgeous girls throwing themselves at him. That's why I call him Mandar Chick Magnet. And Mandar, I hope you can make it. So, because I really would love to have you. And I want to show the world who Mandar Chick Magnet is. Besides, he is a great dancer. He dances like Bollywood dancing. He's amazing.
Will there be a dance portion?
If Mandar shows up, I am going to play some music, and Mandar will have to dance for us.
Yeah.
So
I will put my tap shoes on.
Put them on and bring the caftan. Bring the caftan.
I have the perfect one to wear next week.
Okay. So let me see what we have for time here. All right, we have plenty of time before our food. Now, you're going to be on the Barnes & Noble float. Are you going to be on any floats for the Pride Parade?
I'm expecting the Bailey's Irish Cream people to call me and ask if I will represent dairy-based alcoholics. And I am their queen. So I will ride on that float.
I guess that's a thing. Wow. Giovanni LeDuc is joining us.
Bailey's, if you're listening.
Bill, I have no plans.
We got your girl right
here. Got a live one.
Actually, I am going to Kelly's apartment to watch the march.
Where's Kelly's apartment? Down this village?
She lives on West 11th Street and 7th.
That's going to be a perfect place.
She lives on a higher floor, and it's a perfect angle so we can see them coming up.
Beautiful. And that parade now goes until the end of time. Like, it just goes on and on and on.
When we went to the pier last year.
You step off at 7?
7 p.m.
You're kidding me.
It's like 400 participants this year.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wait, you start?
We step off at 7.
Do you know when the bikes step off? 11:45. That tells you how long that parade is.
Yeah.
Well, I remember being at the pier last year, and people were strolling in at 8:30, saying it just ended. We just left.
It's crazy.
They're gonna miss Madonna.
When is Madonna going to be on?
She's going to be
9 o'clock that night.
Probably 9
Sunday
or 10.
night.
Wow, that's going to be crazy. She was at Stonewall. Madonna appeared at Stonewall one night, and it was actually wonderful.
Were you there?
I was not there, but I was working at the Duplex while she was there, and people were texting us. Like, you're not going to believe who's here. And we couldn't, I couldn't leave, but it was really, and then when I saw they videotaped her from just a phone, and she was very gracious. I thought it was really sweet. But that's how, she attributes her success in the early days to the gay men. I mean, that was her audience. As does Lady Gaga always says that, that's her audience. So listen, if you can't get along with the gay men, you're not going to sell anything. I'll tell you right now. So start getting along with the gay men. They know their stuff.
Horrible.
Yes. Listen, I always tell people.
Your face, your makeup, your hair, your
What do you think
outfits,
taught me to do my makeup?
Your costume.
In the 80s.
Suck.
All my gay boys, they would be like, get over here. You're a mess. I was a mess. I didn't know what I was doing. And
Do you? Well, absolutely. Do you sell? Your skin is so good.
How did you? I didn't even tell you to prompt me on the skincare, but you know I do sell.
I know you do. I was wondering if you're gay and drag friends, if you sell them makeup.
I actually do have a few male clients. I do have a few male clients. So I do sell, thank you, Dominic, Rodan and Fields.
I was not paid for that endorsement.
No, I know you weren't.
Your skin looks so good.
You know what? Do me a favor, Dom. You see that package there, the blue package on the end there? Grab that. It says Redefine. Grab that package for me.
It says adult diapers.
No, not that one. Damn it. Dominic.
Not the Depend.
Oh, God. That one, honey. Let's. So thank you for asking, Dominic. I didn't ask him to find. I do. You know, someone asked me the other day. I told him how old I was, which I don't. You know, sometimes I talk about it, sometimes I don't. But I'm definitely in my 50s. But this is one of the things I use.
Nice package.
Thank you so much. No one's ever said that. But so this has 4 different things in it. It's a regimen. I use this every day. It's amazing for your skin. If you want to get good skincare, I use a lot of different products that they have. I use it and I started selling it because I love it. I really do. So if you want some skincare, men and women, actually a lot of my guys, I buy it for them as gifts as well. Let me know and I can get you started on that.
What does that noise mean?
Oh, that's just, well, so if it's Jimmy, then it's a different noise. This is just like my Pinterest. I can't figure out how to get rid of it like that. It's like every 2 seconds they want to sell me something. And I'm the kind of person that's like, what are they selling? I'll buy it. So now, Dominic, tell us about your shows again. So it's the first and last or at 9:30, right?
It's every Thursday in June at 9:30, except for June 13th, which is at 7 o'clock.
Oh, that's the only one that's at 7?
Uh-huh.
I have to make that one.
You must be there.
June,
you'll go to work that night?
I'll go to work right after. Do you know what that date is? It's a very special day for Italians.
June 13th.
St. Anthony's birthday.
I didn't know that.
It's my mother's favorite day.
I didn't know
That's a very good luck day. And you said you're a little Italian, got a little Italian there, right?
13%.
But let me tell you, also are Portuguese. St. Anthony was from Portugal.
Yes.
Went to Italy. They fell in love with him. He was a celebrity. And they kind of like adopted him. So the Italians will say St. Anthony's Italian, but he's really Portuguese.
People are going to really know we're from Massachusetts.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
About this.
The Saints. Yeah. St. Anthony's Feast is the last.
St. Anthony's Feast.
It's the last Sunday in August. It's a family reunion I always go back to. I will be there this year.
Probably be homophobic.
Will you feel more gay?
If you already are gay, will you be like? Is it like a boost of gay?
You'll be gay when you leave. If you are gay when you leave, you'll just be self-hating. Probably is how it's
well, sometimes that happens too.
It's basically the show is. It is a lot of fun. It is completely ridiculous, and it is just little vignettes about what humankind would be like if gay people had been in charge from the beginning.
Oh my God! So it's
great idea.
That's the funny thing.
I do. Like we definitely talk about pride, and it's geared toward pride.
Yeah, of course.
But it says something I just wanted to do for a long time, and it's just the comedy possibilities are sort of endless. It's not for the if you're easily triggered, this is probably not the show.
Trigger warning.
Trigger
warning.
We'll put that. Okay.
If you're sensitive about stereotypes, just
stay home.
Just stay home.
Enjoy your Bernie Sanders rally and do not come to the Duke.
Oh my God! Listen, I heard Bernie today, and nobody was clapping. Whatever. I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to get into that.
No, don't say that word on Facebook. You'll be executed.
What?
The B word.
We're not going to talk about it.
No.
Anyway, John Bronson has joined us. Oh my God. Mandar, 13%. What's the other 87%?
There's a Gina to bookend the Rena.
Wait a minute.
And Tina.
Wait, now you don't know about this, but you're going to jump in when my cousin Rena is here. But my cousin Gina Savino has joined us. And when Gina Savino joins, we all clap. Brian, clap. Everybody. Gina Savino, everybody.
Gina Savino, everybody. Oh my God.
She is a hairdresser.
I just got a haircut today.
Everett, Massachusetts. She's from Revere, but Everett, Mass.
Revere.
Yeah, Revere.
Revere.
That's right. And Joyce's Unisex Salon on 132 Ferry Street in Everett, Mass. As the Italians used to say, Everett.
Everetta.
Yama Everetta, but and that's how everything had that.
Does
little,
she sound like a pirate?
No,
like everyone from Massachusetts?
no, she does. Well,
No, I don't think
no.
they sound like pirates.
Pirates.
You think
What do
they
you
sound like
mean?
pirates?
Pirates.
Leo was clapping for Gina. There's a lot.
Rena was annoyed that no one had mentioned.
No, Rena's very.
Look, go up.
Yes,
She
Rena
said-
was
she
like,
said, I
"What did
believe
you
the
talk
word
about?"
was
He always makes
offended.
fun of all my cousins' names because they're Gina, Rena. You know, there's a lot of INAs in our name.
Sometimes you'll go into on the show and you'll see who's in the room. There'll be 20 people in the room, and Maria is cousins with 18
Oh, look at
of
that.
them.
Look at their clapping for Gina. Look at that.
What are
Those
they?
are all
Somebody
your
posted
cousins.
people. Those are my.
Those
Hey,
are-
I have a lot
That's
of
a live
cousins.
shot of your cousins.
Nancy
In
Bizzotti.
Riviera.
They were asking about ethnicity. Who was asking that? About
Somebody
me?
was asking, but you said 13%,
13% Italian,
and then what's the other 87% Mandarin?
51% Ashkenazi
Which I didn't know, but
Jewish.
that's Jewish. Okay.
Sure.
from the waist down,
Okay, good to know.
and
you cad.
13% Greek.
And okay, and then the other a little
The
Italian
rear
in there
end
too.
of
the
me,
back.
From the back.
I love that. The Greek. Okay, he's got a Greek rip. You said it. I didn't. Dominic will say
I
it.
got the Mediterranean covered.
I love
I'm
that.
actually Sardinian, from Sardinia.
Is that true?
Yes.
Well, that's why you're feisty.
Yeah, the Sardinians.
They're very feisty, you know. That's the
they were
down near the
warriors. They
near the
fought-
boot. The boot is kicking.
Yeah.
Sicily,
yeah.
there's Sardinia doing its own thing there.
The
Well, they're
Sardinians
very
were
in-
fierce
that's-
warriors.
I know that they had to. They had that little place they had to protect.
Yeah.
Oh my
maybe
God.
that's why I'm still here today.
You know what? I'm
I
banking on
survived.
that Sardinian
Mm.
Yeah.
percentage
I think
there.
so. The Greek
Wow.
not so much.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. There's a lot to this. We could go on for days about all of your stuff.
And I'm Nigerian too.
Really?
Yeah.
This is getting out of control.
I know. There's a lot. I
It's
can't
a
keep up with him and his
Nigerian.
ethnicities.
Yeah.
I
I got the moves.
Nancy Bizzotti is loving all of this stuff. She said, "Where would we be without gay people?" Thank you.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Ugly.
So you're right. And
Uninformed.
my friend Elaine has joined us. Hey, Elaine.
Hello,
She's an
Elaine.
amazing singer and piano player, and she also just passed a great exam. I don't know exactly what the exam was, but it has to do with curbing corruption in government. We are
need her.
very proud of you, and she is going to kick ass on that one. So, Elaine, I'm very proud of you. Great things are happening there. So, anyway, all right. I know it's a little bit early, but I would like to transition into it's not that early. The part of our show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. We have to do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, keep eating. Okay. What did I make tonight? So I asked these guys restrictions, allergies, all that stuff, preferences.
That looks lovely.
Actually, I did plate. Well, you're both gay. I had to make. If we have gay people, you better.
Pressure.
Your plate better look good. So what
I'm
did
gonna go
I?
in your drawers as soon as
Stop it! No,
Chest of drawers.
no, it's bad. I'm like a pack rat. And you'll.
Then don't have gay people. Though.
I know. Well, that's why I locked my bedroom door. Okay, so what did I make? I knew you were from Massachusetts, as am I. We love seafood. Dominic, you did not say you didn't like seafood. I did send you a text about the shrimp.
You did.
You didn't say anything.
No, I did. You did. Did you send me a text? I don't know.
I did. I
will
said I'm
literally
making
eat
shrimp.
anything. I will
Okay,
literally
well,
eat
good.
Yeah.
So I made a delicious shrimp. Now, here's what I
Are
did.
you a Capricorn?
No, I'm a Pisces.
Oh, wow.
Fish
Listen, now
water.
we're talking. I love this.
it.
Goatsy.
Okay, so I actually wrote down what I
What?
put in here because I
Oh, really?
had so many ingredients. I said, I'm going to forget this. Plus, I'm getting old now. All right. So what did I put in the shrimp? Sesame oil, garlic. I squeezed an. Oh, you want to? Yeah, I squeezed an. Oh, thank
I do
you,
love
Brian.
sesame oil.
I
It's
do
very
too.
I
I
love being
My husband likes it.
You're very good at
a
that.
model. Like
You do that very well, like Carol Merrill. Remember her? All right. So I had sesame
Let's
oil,
make a
garlic,
deal.
orange juice, lobster bouillon, red peppers, which I caramelized with red onion, sugar snap peas over brown quinoa rice. That is what's happening there. How beautiful is that?
Water.
Oh, I can't wait! And I have
I'm
tons of it
almost
in the kitchen. Tons. About 2 pounds of shrimp. All right, now, and also the salad, our beautiful salad. You know, anybody that knows me knows
Delicious.
I love a good salad. I love a good salad. So what did I put in this? I have a spring mix, which is all.
Delicious.
Thank you. A spring mix of different greens, and then I also put a little bit iceberg in there. And then I have pico de gallo. Pico de gallo is chopped up onions, cilantro, and tomatoes, very, very fine, with some lime, English cucumber in there, and there's avocado.
Ooh,
so what I'm going to put on this is balsamic vinegar and extra virgin olive oil.
Nice.
But there is lime and lemon already in there to keep those avocados. If you don't want your avocados to turn brown, squeeze some lemon and lime on top of them, and they will stay green.
They will stay green.
Yeah. Smells good, right? Smell that.
Well,
Doesn't it smell
you can
good?
do that with fruit too.
Yeah, that's true. Cut up apples.
Avocado is a fruit, isn't it?
Yes, it is a fruit. Now, I had to do something for Pride Month.
Oh.
Look at our cupcakes. They are rainbow, psychedelic rainbow cupcakes.
I love sweets.
I do too. I have much more in the kitchen. I just put it on this plate. So we have chocolate and vanilla, and I think the frosting is vanilla with psychedelic. Look how pretty those are, Brian. You like that?
They look lovely.
So we're going to be partaking of those.
We're making people hungry.
Yes, I know. That's what happens.
Sorry. There's
So-
always
Well, I
that
have to
food
ask you a question.
takeout.
What-
What's the food takeout thing? Yelp? What is it?
Oh, a Grubhub or all
Grubhub,
this. It's not. You're not going to
Seamless.
find any of this stuff.
No.
Gina, I know. I wish you could come to the show next week, Gina. I know you can't because she has a business. She and her sister have a
Kelly
business.
is something. Have you seen
Kelly?
Kelly recently? She has been
Running.
losing weight.
I know. Kelly always looks good to me, though.
Looks.
Kelly was always beautiful. Now you
That
want
is true.
to. You want to
There's
be
just less of
healthy
her
and.
love.
Yep, that's fine. But you always look beautiful. Joseph Hunter has joined us. Joseph, how are you, my love? I was thinking about you today because they were talking about the island. James Fama, that's my neighbor next door. Hi, James.
Hi,
I saw him
James.
today. He's an amazing guy. He's a teacher, teaches 5th grade. Okay, so Elaine, thank you for the flags. We appreciate that. All right, so now how are you?
What are we talking about?
I want to ask you a question.
We were yes, anything you want.
I'm
We have
asking
15
on
minutes
behalf of
less.
the fans.
Whatever you want.
Who watch every week? You're probably not going to be able to answer this question.
If it's personal, I may not.
But
Go ahead.
not you personal. So a couple of weeks ago, your guest was everyone's favorite pianist, Mr. Michael Isaacs.
My love. But he's my love.
And also, I cannot remember the name of the actor who was on.
Oh, Darrell Anthony.
Yes.
Darrell was also on General Hospital this week. Did you see him?
Right.
Yes.
So I was watching at home, and
Yeah.
in case I was mistaken, it did seem that Michael and Darrell, once
Had a-
we yelled
you
cut, were going to strip
Oh,
their
cut.
clothes off and roll on the couch and do things in front of you.
Well, I will say
that
something.
was the heat I was getting.
I often, I know people don't always know each other. Sometimes they know each other, sometimes they don't. I knew you guys would get along, and we were launching Pride. It was important that you both be on. I gotta say, Michael and Darrell, I knew were gonna like each other. I just knew it. I know what they like.
So what I need.
I am not.
The update.
I'm not telling tales out of school.
Spill the tea.
I'm not that kind of girl.
Pour the tea.
I'm Italian.
Michael?
I can,
But we should call him.
We could call him. Michael's at Brandy's tonight, I believe. He's at Brandy's piano bar on East 84th between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. He is the piano player there on Tuesdays and Sundays. So he will be there. I'm sure you can just fly over there in a caftan and ask him.
Believe it's flit over there, not fly.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you would flit there? Is that how you do? You guys do it?
Yes, go on.
Okay. Anyway, so you're gonna flit there? I'm
gonna
not
flit
a big
over to
fan of that
Brandy's.
word.
Flit?
Yeah.
Oh, Brandy's
Why?
in
It
Brooklyn?
rhymes with some of my
Stop it.
favorites, actually.
Brandy's in Brooklyn?
Flit and what?
No, Brandy's. Oh, you live in Brooklyn?
Yeah, Branded Saloon.
No, it's
Oh.
on the East 84th between
Oh,
2nd
okay,
and
because
3rd.
there's a place right around my neighborhood.
I didn't know you lived in Brooklyn. How do you like it out
I
there?
love Brooklyn.
Yeah, people love it.
I've been there 20-something years.
Really?
Where in Brooklyn?
Prospect Heights?
Ah.
So you were there before it was cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm always a trendsetter.
I love that.
Way
People
ahead.
follow you.
Way ahead.
That's
of
where all the
curve.
gays have gone now. You moved out and they
Yeah,
moved out.
not to change the topic. but I
Change,
will.
change it. We're just hanging.
I posted the other day because I got this like kind of bug in my ear about like gender non-conforming and gender fluid and all these fancy terms that we have that are great and I love them all. But I was gender non-conforming before it was even a word.
Yeah.
Before it was even like
Well-
even back when I retransitioned in the 80s, it wasn't even a word, and that's what I was.
Let-
I mean, it's interesting that
Well, you were
some
just.
people don't realize the history. That's why we have to always keep.
Well, you've been telling the
educating.
history, and tell people again where they can hear you speak you're going to be speaking, telling these stories?
I'm going to be at the Generations Project.
And where is that?
On the 27th of June. It's, if you go to the Generations Project, they have a Facebook page, and the generationsproject.com, they'll have their events listed there. It's a storytelling event, and it's going to be I think at 7:30 in the Village.
Yeah,
I don't have the address yet. But
it'll be on your website.
But
and all
there's also if you go to my Facebook page, you'll find a lot of information about the book and about my story. But
I want to show this again because some people joined late. So this is Brian Belovich's book. It's called Transfigured. It's amazing. I got it at Barnes & Noble. Hi, thank you, Gina. Look at the hearts that Gina put. The rainbow hearts. That's my cousin. My cousin. I take great pride in that.
Great.
She's fabulous.
Brian, don't forget what? What did that say?
Who's saying? Let me see.
My husband.
Brian, don't forget to mention call.
Oh, my book clubs. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Thank you. See, we need husbands. All right, talk about your book club.
So I do these book clubs. If you buy a bunch of books and you have a book club, I will Skype in and answer any of your questions.
Really?
You can DM me and set it up. I'll look at my schedule.
That's really cool.
It's a lot of fun. I've been talking with tons of moms and
that's wonderful. With transgender kids.
Yeah, with trans kids, and it's just so much fun. It's usually lasts for like an hour or so.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
so
I did about a half a dozen of them now.
They set it up with you ahead of time, and then they can Skype in.
Yeah, and
that's
Skype
really
in,
cool.
and they read the book, and they have specific questions, and we have this really awesome conversation.
Wow, what's a typical question, or a question you've been asked more than once by a mom?
Well, they want to know. A lot of times they'll ask. I recently did one on Sunday, but my short-term memory is like for focaccia. But
is it that they're concerned more about their kids being picked on? I would imagine.
I think the thing that they really resonate with is in my book. It's some parts of it are really rough to read, especially for parents, because of some of the circumstances around my upbringing, and so a lot of times they have many concerns about how they should react, or how they what
well, that's nice that they even care.
Yeah, so it's really awesome to be able to. That's like why I wrote the book in the first
That's
place.
Amazing that people are actually asking, how should I react?
Yeah, like what type of what would I consider like the best way, or what would I find helpful? So I've got a lot of those kind of questions.
Wow, that's amazing.
And
you're really helping people, Brian.
Yeah, I hope so, and it seems that way. And then the recent thing that happened that was the most exciting for me of this whole experience was I was in North Carolina doing a book festival at Greensboro Bound Literary Festival. I did 2 panels, one on writing your memoir and one on writing about sexuality and identity. And this trans kid came up with me with his parents.
Wow.
And like 12 or 13 years old, with clutching my book, like with this big smile on their face. And the parents came up to me, and they had listened to the panel, and they were like, practically breaking my hand off, thanking me, shaking my hand like vigorously. And I as soon as they walked away, my friend and I that was working with me at the event, we both looked at each other and we burst into tears.
I believe it.
We were just so overcome with emotion, because that's really
Well, when you're helping another human being and you're doing it selflessly just because of something that you've opened up your heart and you've told your story, and like you said, there's parts of it that are really rough.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot. It takes a lot of guts to do that.
Yeah.
But if it changes the way people feel about themselves or the way they're treated by others, that's monumental.
And that's been the response, really, which has been really overwhelming. I mean, I kind of felt like it might be a good book, but the response has been, if you go on Goodreads or Amazon and you read some of these are people I don't really even know.
Right.
The response is just overwhelming, and I'm so grateful for that.
And that must be really something to see things that people that you don't even know, right? Say
yeah. I mean, it's incredible, and parents especially, that have no idea what to you know, there's no. I mean, there are guidebooks now. There weren't guidebooks.
No,
when we
and
were
you know
coming
what?
out,
There was
but
really
there are some manuals.
there
and
were
are
very few
websites.
bookstores that you could find
Yeah,
that even carried a book,
there was
a
nothing.
book or two books.
No, there was nothing.
And if you were looking for things that were specific, it was really like a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, I remember hiding. I remember going to the library in Providence, Rhode Island, and taking out the Christine Jorgensen story and hiding it under my bed.
Oh yeah,
And reading it under my blanket at night.
that was a big deal.
Yeah, and if I had got caught with that book, I think I
Would've got-
I
who
probably
knows?
would have. I don't know what would have happened. But,
I know it's very different now. But you know what I like that you were talking about the history and doing this archival thing and passing on stories, because the young people of today need to know what it was like back then. It was very different. And
Yeah,
even before us, I can imagine it was
and even
completely
before
different.
us, I mean, we've all been, you know, we stand on the shoulders of many. I mean,
Yeah.
not just. You know, you think about, you know, I was a teenager in 1969, and that was going on, and I was kind of aware of what happened because I read the news.
Right.
Excuse me, but I had no idea as a kid then the impact that it was going to have in my later on in my adult life, coming to New York and in a few years.
And if you don't know what so the Stonewall Riots, in a very quick clip because we're running out of time. In 1969, in June, probably I think it was June 25th. It was the day after Judy Garland had died, and the police raided because gay bars were illegal. They raided the Stonewall Inn. And they had done it many, many, many times. Funny enough, who used to own all these gay clubs were the mob.
The mob. Yeah.
So the mob would own all these clubs. They were underground, and they actually protected them very much so. But sometimes they would be raided. And this particular night, everybody was really upset about a death that had happened, and people fought back. So they barricaded it and said, "No, tonight you're not going to raid it." And that was the first. That was the riot. And it was
For 3
literally
days.
It was
3
also
days.
illegal for men to be dancing with men as
Right.
well, and dressed as women. And so that was another aspect of
And how many people do you think marched? Well, it wasn't a parade then. It was a
no,
protest.
it was a protest.
So how many people do you think were there? 20, 30, 50?
At the first
The first
first
year in
one?
1970,
70?
Yeah.
I think it was pretty
It was
substantial.
not
No,
what
no,
it is
the fir-
now, but
Oh, you mean in the bar?
Right, in that bar, how many people do you think were there?
I don't know.
So let's say at most 50. Most.
Maybe.
Because 50 people took a stand.
Well, it's not a big bar.
No, it's not. How many people they're estimating will be in New York this year?
6 million.
Yeah.
6 million.
Yeah.
So if you're listening out there, no matter what your thing is, this doesn't have to just be a gay straight issue. Whatever your fight is, you have to stand up for yourself. Sometimes you have to do it quietly. You have to choose your battles, and you have to know where you are, and it has to be safe. But wherever you are in the world, if you need to stand up for yourself, it starts with you. And the smallest saying, no, you know what? You can't treat me that way. It can change so much for so many, you, starting with you, but it changes so much for so many. So now we really are running out of time.
No.
Yeah, I know. And we're going to eat, though. That's the good news.
Oh, yeah.
Dominic, tell us again about your show, how people can get tickets, and where they can find you.
you can go to dominterry.com, or you can go to purplepass.com/pupa, which is my last name.
PUPA.
Yep, it's every Thursday in June at the Duplex.
Okay, and
All
it's
the
a
times
great
we
show.
do.
It's funny. So
It is funny, ridiculous funny.
Yes.
There's a little bit of a message because it is Pride Month. So
of
we don't
course,
just
but you can catch Dominic
the message
all
is
year
that-
long, and you can catch Brian all year long. We're showcasing them because it is Pride Month. Again, I'm going to show Brian's book. It's an amazing book. Brian, you have to sign it for me right now.
On camera?
Yes, on
Oh, my
camera.
goodness. Okay.
You see this?
That's like
Brian
that's the
Belovich.
certificate of authenticity.
Yes, it's
happening
that's right.
live.
It's happening
Yeah.
live. So we want to remind you that What's the Story with Maria is here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. There it is. He's signing it. I love this. 9 p.m. Eastern on Armed. You can listen to us live if you type in armeddigitalmedia.com. How much time do we have, Jimmy?
In a minute.
Minute. ArmedRadioGlobal.com. You can also watch us on Facebook Live every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I archive it and save it. And we appreciate, we love you, and we will see you next week. Next week is our 100th episode, regulars and irregulars. And listen, if you can't make the party, please come and watch the show so you can pop on and talk to the rest of the guests. Thank you, everybody. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
We love and appreciate you. Good night, everybody.